welcome to Crowforest Reviews. So today, I thought we'd talk about the Lego Scooby-Doo movie. Now, I know what you're thinking. Is that even real? Well, I'm literally holding a DVD copy of it right now, and even I'm not sure. So let's just jump right in, shall we? This is Lego Scooby-Doo Haunted Hollywood. So after a brief teaser featuring a guy being terrified in an alley of a cat, the movie opens proper with Scooby and Shaggy being used as bait in the Mystery Gang's latest caper, resulting, of course, in the famous Freddy trap malfunctioning, but still ultimately somehow capturing the villain. Somehow. It always seems to work that way somehow. And then they unmask the villain to reveal the obvious perpetrator. And then, just for good measure, they unmask the villain again to reveal the second most obvious perpetrator. Why not?
And I would have gotten away with it.
You would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for us meddling kids. Got it?
Wow. They managed to get all the classic Scooby-Doo cliches in the first 5 minutes. That's impressive. So after getting a quick snack, because that's the other thing they do, the gang go to Hollywood, following a most likely fraudulent contest that they didn't even enter in the first place. Well, that's not suspicious! And then we get a quick montage of them driving as the opening credits play. Well, this movie is certainly wasting no time getting to the point. So they arrive at the studio for their tour and are checked in by this guy. And then they're taken on the tour by this guy. Wait, isn't that the same guy? Or do all Legos just look alike? No, it's the same guy. So we're introduced to our lead suspects, cast of characters, including the father of literal multiple hat guy. And I have to say, I like the Lego bald cap. That's pretty funny.
Sharp-eyed film buffs will surely recognize this famous movie location.
The Grimsley Mansion.
Oh yeah, I think I do recognize that. From every episode of Scooby-Doo ever. Literally, if you count the intro. So anyway, they drive into a studio hangar or something, and soon they're in the dark, scary part where no one can find them. And the car dies. Isn't that just typical? And then they start getting chased by a pumpkin-headed horse rider. But fortunately, the car starts working again, and they manage to escape. Well, that's kinda suspicious. It's almost like the driver deliberately broke the car and then waited for the most dramatic possible moment to fix it. Oh, also, Perfect Hair disappeared before the Spectre showed up, and then reappeared right after they got away. So that's kinda suspicious too. Maybe he's working with the driver. So anyway, enjoy this brief break to watch some fake horror movies from this fake studio, including Curse of the Tomb of the Mummy's Shadow, and Nephew of the Headless Rider's Curse. Wow! Those are fantastic titles! So we get some obvious foreshadowing in the form of learning about a disgruntled former partner who used to work with Bald Cap Guy before being fired, and how the studio has not been able to produce a single hit since firing him. And as if that wasn't obvious enough, a vampire comes in to specifically tell them that the studio is in fact cursed because of how they treated the former partner. So I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that maybe, just maybe, the partner is taking his revenge. I know it's pretty unlikely, but just bear with me here. But never mind about that for a while. Shaggy and Scooby have discovered a buffet table, at least until the pumpkin ghost breaks in again and chases them away. Much to the delight of the director, because this is making the movie he's filming much more interesting, at least until the camera gets broken, along with the entire set. Whoops. So, predictably, the Scooby Gang end up getting signed up to finish the movie, since the cast all fled, because that's how that works. And just when Daphne thinks that she's about to get her big break and finally be the leading lady in a film, Baldcap decides to cast the vampire from before instead. What? Wasn't she the one who was threatening the studio a few scenes ago? Why would he cast her? What the hell is going on here? So Shaggy sits across from the vampire lady to film the scene while Fred directs, and Velma films the scene while hanging upside down from a drone. And Scooby works the clapboard. And Daphne is given nothing to do, so she just goes around and continually tries to insert herself into the shots. Again. What? Okay, that doesn't even make sense. So anyway, a mummy shows up and destroys the set. It happens.
Let's not wait around to see what else it tries to tear to pieces.
Never. The director always goes down with his film.
And that's just stupid. What the hell even is this movie?
The captain always goes down with his ship. Directors never go down with their film. They get like 10 more tries.
Anyway. While waiting on Fred to finish rebuilding the set, Daphne decides to get some acting tips from Vampire Lady. Why? And then Shaggy and Scooby do a bunch of movie and TV references, including Hot Dog Man? I must have missed that one. Meanwhile, Fred and Velma are the only ones to actually be investigating, which is pretty typical for this group, so, you know, props there. Props. Hey.
I have got the answer.
You do?
I know exactly how to fix my movie.
Okay, scrap that. Velma is the only one investigating. Which, again, is pretty typical for this group, so, again, props. So they all get back together to do Fred's new idea for the movie, and...
All right, Scoob. All you have to do is take off in the airplane, make an immediate, nearly impossible ascent up to Drella.
Okay, he is going to get someone killed here. He does not understand about stunts or special effects or anything. And then, just to make matters worse, a zombie shows up and jumps onto the back of the plane that Scooby is flying. And Pumpkinhead shows up to wreck the camera, and then immediately leaves. Weird. And once the zombie sees that the camera has been destroyed, it also leaves. Presumably because the job has been done. Which is kind of weird because in the previous scene, the camera was the only thing not destroyed, as Velma points out.
Look, Fred, the mummy left the camera untouched.
So, did the monsters change their mind about their goal? Or are there two different groups of monsters with two different goals? I did not expect anything put forth by something called Lego Scooby-Doo to be any kind of a head-scratcher. And so, now it's time for the big climax, with the Freddy trap and Shaggy and Scooby being used as live bait. And so, cue montage of everyone working together to build the trap and/or build a sandwich. Oh good. So everyone is doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. So anyway, they manage to capture the ghosts by using an audio recording, somehow, but then they immediately lose them. Wait, no, that's part of the plan. I think. This is a confusing plan. Also, that was clearly attempted murder. Or possibly actual murder. There is no way he survived that. His head popped off and everything. But no, apparently he's fine. And then they manage to capture the zombie by tricking him by having Daphne dress up as the vampire lady. For some reason. And thus we get our classic unmasking scene, where it's revealed that our two monsters were in fact not working together, thus explaining the disconnect between the two crime scenes, as well as the two different motivations. Wow, that's pretty deep for a Lego Scooby-Doo movie. Kudos. And so the movie ends with Shaggy and Scooby finding the security footage room and Fred having the idea of cutting together a found footage movie of the events, which is actually pretty clever. So that was Lego Scooby-Doo. How was it? That was absolutely amazing. Seriously, you need to track down a copy of this movie and watch it for yourself. So, yeah. That's pretty much all I have to say about this one. Go find a copy. So anyway, enjoy this brief break to watch some fake horror movies from this fake studio, including Curse of the Mummy's Shadow and Nephew of the Curse of the Mummy of the Curse, including Tomb of the Curse of the Mummy's Shadow and Nephew of the Curse of the Rider's Curse. So, predictably, the Scooby Gang end up getting signed up to finish the movie, since the cast all fled. Because that's how that works. Is that how that works? I have a feeling it's not, but I also don't know. So maybe. Who would I ask about that? I will have to remember to ask this on my Hollywood studio tour and get back to you. Because I do not know the answer. I suspect I know, but I don't actually know.